Hey everybody, how you doing? Drew Griffin here. I am really privileged and excited. I have a new friend here, Tom Gaddis, and I'm really excited and privileged to be connecting with him and actually bringing Tom to everybody here in Delicious Marketing and all the other groups that we're going to be sharing this into. Before I jump into anything, I would like to introduce Tom Gaddis, who is the co-founder and partner over at Offline Sharks, and we have had the extreme privilege to have early access to see something that they've been working on, and it absolutely resonates with everybody here inside this group. If you've ever had a hard time connecting with local businesses, you're going to want to pay attention to this. We're going to be talking to Tom a little bit more about their upcoming product, and we can't wait to jump into that. So without further ado, Tom, welcome to this interview. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are? Some folks that are inside our group may be aware of who you are and your partner, but why don't we just open it wide, be transparent, and tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what Offline Sharks are, and certainly what we're going to be talking about today.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first, aloha, everybody. I'm Tom Gaddis. So I'm the other half of Offline Sharks. Nick Ponte is my business partner. We both live in Maui, Hawaii. So I'm coming to you from my super secret Maui hideaway here, watching the sun shine out the windows just to make you a little jealous if you're somewhere that's
jealous.
getting. Yeah, it's so funny. Every year, I love college football. And every year in October, I'm watching a game and they fan into the crowd. And I'm like, why are those people wearing coats? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, because it's cold everywhere else.
Right.
So, I mean, I started a digital agency here on Maui back in 2012 and started growing that. Maui, for those of you that don't know, it's a real small, it's an island out in the Pacific, but it also has a very small local population. We only have about 140,000 people. So, I was able to start growing an agency here. Nick was doing the same thing. And, we met up through some mutual friends and started kind of helping each other out. And one of the things we bought a lot of products. We like to see what other people were doing. And one of the things we noticed was there seemed to be a disconnect with a lot of products and what we were actually seeing in our businesses, what was working and what people were teaching. And so we said, hey, why don't we talk about what we're doing, share some of the experiences we're having. I bet it would help people. So we started Offline Sharks about 3 years ago. It's been an amazing growth of that community. It's been awesome to see people come in, have success, do all those kinds of things and help. We really just want people to have the kind of lifestyle that we're able to enjoy, right? I'm married. I have 2 kids. They're 12 and 10. I want to be able to spend time with my family, enjoy this nice place where we live, do have a certain quality of life, right? For a long time, I was a slave to hours because I was a former restaurant manager. So, I was working 55. I'm not saying I don't work that many hours now because, having a digital agency and stuff takes effort and you got to put the work in, but it's a different kind. I have more control of things. And Nick and I just really want other people to experience that as well. And so we spent a lot of time putting products together about various aspects of what we do in our business. And probably about a year ago, one of our students, one of these guys came along. His name's Tom Buford. And he started taking some of the things we were teaching and just really like knocking it out of the park, right? And in a really short amount of time, he was generating about 8 to 10 grand in income a month. And he's a stay-at-home dad as well, right? His kids. And so we reached out to him and we were like, hey, what are you doing? And when he showed us what he was doing, we were like, Tom, man, we have got to share this with people because, it solves a couple of really, I think, issues and things that tend to hold people back. One is one way to build a digital agency, right, is to focus on your local area, get out there, meet local businesses, do what you need to build your reputation in your community and grow. That's a very great way, I think, for most people to do it. But a lot of people want to be able to reach out to clients that maybe aren't in their area, right? And for Nick and I, that's an issue too, because we have a small market here in Maui, right? So to be able to reach out to people in other areas is good. One of the things that we kind of struggled with that is like, well, once your agency's rocking and rolling and you have some credibility, it's easy to do that
Right.
because you have the credibility behind you, right? Somebody says, who have you worked for? Oh man, I can show you, right? What kind of results you get? Oh, I can show you. But what do you do when you don't have that, right? How do you overcome that obstacle? And so what Tom really did was he took one of our strategies and basically just like took out all the hard stuff about it, streamlined it, and then turned it in this way to reach out to potential prospects that really builds that trust and authority, even if you don't have any clients at the current time. But it's just different. It sets you apart, right? Like you guys probably know, local businesses get hammered nonstop. Emails, phone calls. Like, I mean, my clients are always telling me, God, these people won't leave me alone. And, that's mainly how, when we get into this, we start reaching out to people the same ways everybody else is doing it, right? And what Tom has really put together here is something unique. It sets you apart, makes you look different. Basically, I can tell you a little bit about it. I don't want to spill too much of the beans, but basically what he's doing is, so we had a method for bringing in clients where we did these audits, right? And we would charge people for the audits. They were very labor intensive. It took time to put them together, but we found them to be really effective for bringing in especially higher ticket clients, because the audit itself educated the client about what was involved in fixing these problems, what their issues were, how, and when they looked at those audits when they were done, they were like, man, I don't want to do this, right? Like, and they saw that the effort it was going to take to fix it. So we had a lot of success with that. But again, they were kind of, you still had to sell them on the audit before because they were labor intensive. We did it all kind of manually. And what Tom did was he took like the beauty of that method of doing these audits, and he developed this little system to do, we call them like screen capture audits. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be on camera to do them. You can if you want, but you don't, right? And so he put this little video, well, not really video, screen capture is the best way to describe it. Screen capture audits. So he looks for clients he can help. Then he does these little screen capture audits, and then he sends those to the clients, right? And the audits do a couple things. They set him up as an expert. He starts to build a relationship. He's a real person. He's not just some nameless face reaching out to them. And he's really identifying the pain points for the prospect he's talking to, right? And that's how he's built his agency, right? He's just been getting clients like crazy. And then the real genius part is he found a place online, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's not LinkedIn, it's not Google, and it's not Facebook, right? But he found this place where people are literally out there raising their hands like, I need help with this service. Yeah. And he applied his little screen capture audits to that platform, and it was like, it was like gasoline on a fire, because it was like these people were out there, I need help with this, and he's reaching out to them saying, hey, I can help you with that, and here's what I see the issue is, and all that stuff. And so the product that we're here to talk about, which is called Remote Client System, that's what it's really all about. It's Tom going through his entire process, showing you exactly what he does, how he does it, how he identifies potential issues. It's really about getting clients, right? Tom offers several different services. So obviously we can't like explain how to do every service, right? But most of them are pretty much probably what your guys and your audience, your people are going to be doing anyway. Sure. It's just a little more effective way to get clients in. The other kind of part of that, I guess, is, it also, well, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Yeah, this is good. There's so much here, Tom. I mean, really, I've been through this course, and I'll just kind of reframe this as you refresh yourself there. My goodness, the strategy in this is something that my business partner David Calafiore and I, in some regards, when I first looked at this, I was curious as to what the end result was going to be, and immediately when I got into the first module, I realized this is exactly what our audience needs and wants to. Number one, address a major issue that a lot of people have, and that's confidence, right? A lot of people have this imposter syndrome. They've got the talent. There's no doubt about it. They've got the talent, whether it's SEO or video marketing or whatever it is that they're into, social media marketing, blog writing, whatever it might be. This technique, this strategy, this system gives this crowd, our audience, the ability to overcome that in a very unique way, that even if they don't follow everything the way that you're applying it in the menus and the services that you're talking about in the remote client system, they can certainly use the tactics, the strategies, the techniques, the resources that you're talking about this. When I went through this, I was like, man, these guys are smart. This is so smart. And I can't wait to spill the beans, because man, when they get inside here, this is totally applicable to what we call local media assets. And when we're doing these local business spotlight videos and pretty much all the different services that we like to talk about in Delicious Marketing Hacks, what you guys have put together really kind of elevates it takes it to the next level. And that's where I love it. If people are not those kind of people that like to go out and knock on doors and face the typical rejection and stuff like this, there's no rejection in here whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that is so delicious. I'm going to just throw that out there. It's delicious, right? There's a way about it. I'm not going to reveal it, but it's so good that it allows you to implement this system and strategy to prospect on a major way, in a very comfortable way that really doesn't take a lot of time. And that's kind of, there's no time, there's no rejection involved in this whatsoever, but it's so good that you can apply it in so many different ways, whether it's, the various services that you're talking about inside Remote Client System, or some of the things that we talk about here inside this group. It's completely applicable to both ways. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys on to just kind of pique the interest of everybody. It's so good, and I can't wait to use it.
Yeah, we were super excited. Like I said, when we saw Tom, we were like, we got to share this with everybody, because this is something that just an average person can use to get results, right? Yeah. And the other part of this too is like, when you're trying to start an agency, it's like, where do you, everybody, we want to have this dream of like, okay, we get the clients, we don't do any of the work, the outsourcing thing, all that stuff, right? But it's like, how do you get that going? And one of the things that Nick and I really realized early on is like, you kind of have to do those things simultaneously, right? So when you're sitting there and you don't have any clients and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to fulfill this? And what am I going to do if I get a client? Like, God forbid I get a client, like then what, Whenever you have a repeatable, consistent way to bring a client in and get a deposit or a check for a service that you're going to fulfill, fulfillment becomes remarkably simple, because like you have cash flow to work with, and it's just like you said, a lot of people have the talents. It's just, how do I get those people in to utilize those? And the other side of that is, if you're looking to build a team so you don't do the work, like cash flow solves almost, like our experience has been, cash flow solves all kinds of problems that were huge obstacles when you were trying to get started, and you didn't have it. So, I think the thing to keep in mind about these types of ways of bringing in clients is, that's kind of how Nick and I look at it in our businesses, is like, okay, what we want to do is we want to be focusing on what's important, which is the client acquisition and getting cash flow in. Once that cash flow's in, now we have something to work with. We can find, there's a gazillion people out there, if you don't know how to do something, can do it. Right. And I will be almost embarrassingly transparent here. When I was first building my agency, I was reaching out to people and they would say, oh, well, I'm not interested in that, but can you help me with this? I had no idea how to do what they were talking about, right? But I'm like, absolutely, I can help you with that. And then I hang up the phone and I'm like Googling, how do you run social media management, And it's like, and that was just how I got going, And, of course, today, we bring clients in, we have a team that handles all that stuff, and that's where we'd like people to get. But I think one of the biggest obstacles to overcome is that consistent inflow of clients and cash flow. It really does solve a lot of the other problems, right? Because you can find the skills you need. or the people to do them pretty easily.
Yeah, and you just become the matchmaker at that point. And listen, if you're focusing in on a very specific topic and something that you truly enjoy to do, whether you're a web developer, you get the idea. If there's something specific that resonates with you inside your own agency, you can leverage this system to find those types of people that need your help. And that's something that's really cool here. Sometimes it's taking a shot in the dark, but your system shows you how to find the clients that desperately need your help, and or at least gives you an idea that the help that they require will probably lead to other stuff that you likely have the ability to do. And I think that is one of the coolest things. So, so let's learn a little bit about Tom's backstory. I understand that he's a stay-at-home dad. A lot of people that are probably watching this are either they're stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, or they're married to one, and they may have a 9-to-5 job, and they're trying to get their agency going. And perhaps those people that have their agency going already, they're just trying to find a better way to go about prospecting and finding new clients. So do you know the backstory for Tom? Like what's it like for him, like kind of moving from earning probably very little to, probably getting close to that $10,000 mark? Like, how has he revealed or shared with you how that's actually impacted his life and his family's life, going from zero to, we'll just call it average around $10,000 a month, using this type of tactic and strategy to build up his agency? What has that meant to him and his business?
Yeah, Tom and I have had some conversations about this, because one of the things is like, when you're starting something like this and you don't have a lot of traction at first and you start to get some traction, it's like a surreal experience, because one, it's almost always not like how you imagined it was going to be, right? Like it's slightly different. Like there's either, there's just different things you can't anticipate when you don't have clients that come up. But also just the one of the things Tom and I talk about is that freedom to be able to, to control our schedules. That's really, it's not about, it can be about working less, I guess, but not necessarily. It's really more about the independence to be able to work when I want to work and spend time with my family when I want to spend time with my family. And I know that that's something that's really important to Tom. That's why he started doing this. And to just be able to go from not being able to make things work to getting clients to now starting to have some consistent income, it's pretty, it's a pretty dramatic impact on your life, because, also too, the people around you who were maybe kind of like looking at you very skeptically about what you're trying to do, as you're telling them, listen, this is going to be good. And they're like, I don't know, like, I haven't really seen any checks from this, it's like, that changes that whole dynamic as well when you're actually able to deliver, right? And just kind of builds up your confidence and gets you more excited about doing it. So yeah, I think you'll see a video of Tom on the main page for Remote Client System. And he's just an average guy, right? He's just a down to earth guy that was able through trial and error to put together something that is doable for him, right? And I think, and really Nick and I believe doable for anybody, because there's nothing complicated about it. You don't have to have expensive software. You don't have to, you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. Like, you just follow the process and you just do it. And I would even say too about that is, like, even for people who are just getting started in this digital agency thing, it's like just knowing a little is like more than the average business. Like, you don't have to be an SEO whiz. Like, just knowing that there's a thing such as Google My Business and it needs to be claimed is like way more than most business owners know, right? So, as long as you're just 1 or 2 steps ahead, this is something you can use to reach out to those people and educate them and build that relationship that's important to bring them on as a paying client, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. So let's dive a little bit into, without giving away what Remote Client System is all about. we'll kind of talk about, the structure of it, how many modules are inside this course, and it's delivered in kind of a video format, and you really break it down, step by step. But why don't you give us a little bit of description about what the course entails? I mean, is this going to be like a 4-week course that we're going to go through?
No, it's actually pretty straightforward. There's three modules inside the course, and we cover the basics, right? So Tom covers what the process is, the why it's worth doing, what are the good, this is why it works, that type of thing. He walks you through like how to do everything, how he sets things up, how you can identify people to reach out to. He talks about some different places where he finds clients, one of which is a place that nobody's using to find clients right now. And that was an eye-opener to Nick and I, because we were like, we never thought of that. Right. Like, why did you never think of this? But he also shows you how to use the same process and techniques for other places that you may want to find clients, like LinkedIn, Google, Facebook. It works those other places as well. Sure. Or if you're a networking kind of guy or a networking kind of person, collecting business cards and then following up with this would be a great way to do it as well. So we go through that, and then the third module is like everything basically you need to make the process work. So, you have Tom's scripts, there's templates in there. We basically put all the resources in there just to give you a jump start so you don't have to create all that stuff yourself. So you get all that, and then there's some samples of what you'll actually see things that Tom has sent out to clients and responses and stuff like that. So that's really nice to see. You don't get that a lot, where people are showing you what they're really doing and the actual responses and all that kind of stuff. So you get that in there as well.
Yeah, I have to say, for full transparency, going through the course, I literally went through that course in a few short hours. Okay, for full transparency, in preparation for this course, anything that we like to promote inside here, I expect and demand of myself to go through it, to give an honest and transparent feedback. We don't do a tremendous amount of promotions here unless we go through that stuff and we believe it and we look at it and we test it and evaluate that it's going to work. Everything that I've gone through here is what we're going to be applying in the next version of local media assets. There's no question about it that it is a sore spot for a lot of folks, prospecting, right? And this is kind of why one of our main staples is what we do, is to connect with local businesses and connect with regional businesses. This takes it to the next level, where it allows us to do this quicker and more effectively, more efficiently, and in such a way that there's zero rejection involved. I love that about this. And you're actually providing real value and real service to local businesses, which is what they need. If you are just going to go and sell something, it might as well be something that truly provides value to those end businesses. And everything that you are providing is no BS. It's absolutely transparent in how you can truly, truly help them with their local marketing and their marketing overall in general. And I dig that about this. I really think that this is an element that a lot of people will clamor for. I mean, this is really something that can be applied, can be done remotely, right? So you don't necessarily need to go out and knock on anyone's doors. You don't need to do networking unless you want to. This is a fantastic arsenal or tool set and weapon that you can put inside your arsenal of ways to prospect and create business around this. It's not going to take you a long time. We tend to have courses that go on and on and on, and there's a lot of stuff inside there. This course can be consumed in a few short hours. You can take as long as you want with it. And the bonuses and the resources in there, I got to tell you, most of them are free to low cost. And I got to say, what you're going to learn in there, without giving away what these resources are, you're going to love them because they deliver results in a very clean fashion. I just dig that about it, where a lot of my stuff is kind of all over the place sometimes. This, when you package it together, makes sense and allows you to have a nice, fresh business that, just operates like a machine. And I love that about this. So, Tom, you've done an amazing job with this. Go ahead, please.
Oh, well, thanks. No, I'm excited to hear you guys are going to be using it. I mean, that's awesome. Like that makes me feel good, because that's like that. It's good to see people that take action and see, like, hey, this can actually work. One of the other things that we're kind of adding to this is like, so once you bring prospects in, we have a little piece of software. It's a WordPress plugin that we run on our agency sites. It's called Local Fee Finder, and basically what it does is it allows you to like pre-qualify people that come in to your agency, and one of the things it does is it gets them to identify their budget, right? Which is a huge sticking point when you're talking to somebody, because they're like, what do you charge? And you're like, well, what's your budget? And they're like, nope, you first. And you're like, no, you first. And it's like, so this like takes all the pressure out of that. And so we're actually going to include that with this course, because it's kind of a logical next step, right? Like you bring this prospect in, now you have them go through this little form, and it gives you the information you need to really be able to maximize your profitability and identify prospects, the ones that can really use your help and need it now, right? But the other side of that, what's great about that process, and the reason I bring it up, is because for people that don't consider themselves salesmen, and Nick is that way, is not like a salesman, and I'm like outgoing and exuberant, but I don't really consider myself a salesman type. Like, I don't know 17 different ways to close a prospect. I don't know the buttons to push to make you to say yes.
Sure.
But what Nick and I have adopted as our philosophy is this idea of, let's just be genuinely interested in helping, right? And that's one of the things about this method that really sticks out to me, is it automatically sets that up. Like, you're just from the get-go, you're positioning yourself as somebody just trying to help. And I kind of equate it to, like, if you were to wake up lost here in Kihei, where I live, and you didn't know what was going on, and all of a sudden I drove by and I was like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, man, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, what are you looking for? You're like, I want to have breakfast. And I said, oh, well, look, to go to breakfast, like, we have you're going to listen to what I say, and we're going to have a great relationship right off the bat, right? I don't have to try to sell you on anything or what's a good, Right. And that's really what this does. Most local businesses, when it comes to the services we offer, are lost. And this allows you to come in and just be someone who's there to help. And you're just, hey, that's what I'm here for. And if they're interested, great. And if they're not, no worries.
Yes, yeah, that is definitely the essence of the whole thing that we dig about this, is results in advance. We preach this all the time. And I think what this really taps into is that essence of results in advance. Part of your prospecting here is to give results in advance. And I think that is really cool. You're kind of pointing stuff out and you're showing them the way without being salesy or pushy or anything like that. But you're delivering all kinds of value. And sometimes they're going to work with you, sometimes they're not. That's okay. But man, there is plenty of fish in the sea for you to work with this system. And you guys point that out. You show the entire map. And I think everyone's going to love it. So listen, we've put some bonuses together, and I think maybe it's probably a good opportunity for us to tell everybody where to go to pick up your system here, which is absolutely amazing. The pricing on this is absolutely incredible. I think it's worth probably 20 to 30 times what you guys are charging on this. So anybody that wants to jump in this, listen, we've put some bonuses together, and I think probably the best thing for everyone to do is go over and check out a remote client system right now, right? And the best way to do that, so what we're going to do is just kind of pull something up on the screen here. And if you're okay with that, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Let me pull this over, and I'm going to share my screen in just a second. Make sure I've got it up. There it is. All right, give me a second. Switch over. All right, so what I'm going to do is share my screen here. All right. So what we put together, guys, is as a nice little bonus on top of what is already being offered here with the remote client system. And we're super excited to share this with you guys. We're going to be including Biz Event Boss 1.0, which is currently being sold on our website over at deliciousmarketing.io /. excuse me, /go/RCS, right? So this is where you can find the bonus when this recording comes out. And we're super excited to share this with you right now. So the bonus number one is Biz Event Boss 1.0, currently being sold on our website for $197. This basically goes out and shows you how to put on events. But the reason that we're including Biz Events Boss is because when you're able to do presentations in front of chambers of commerce and meetups and civic groups and all that kind of stuff, often you've got the ability to network with people. You get a whole bunch of business cards. And another way that you're going to be able to provide value to these people is following the remote client system. And it's so amazing what you're going to learn on the inside of it. You're going to know exactly what to do with these business cards. And anyone that's reaching out to you by the way of your follow-up processes with people, if you ever go to a large event and you're doing a booth or you're doing any of that kind of stuff, often the biggest trick is following up with people. And it's not just about following up and saying, hey, let's go grab coffee sometime. It's a very specific thing that you can do with the remote client system to actually deliver even more value to those people so they know exactly who you are. One thing is to follow up with people, but when you're leading with value, the value that you're going to provide in what you're going to learn inside of the remote client system, you're going to absolutely be blown away of the results that you're going to get. And it's just like, wait, man, when you're going out there and you're giving, and giving, when you're giving a gift with no expectations in return, often what you get is a landslide of contacts and information and referrals and all that other kind of stuff. Absolutely killer for you. So that's going to be bonus number one. Now, in bonus number two, what we've got for you is Biz Event Boss 2.0, which we are actually recording right now. It's forthcoming, and we've stacked even more information into it because certain things have changed. We're actually including presentations inside there that you can take and actually perform and deliver right in front of your audience in chambers of commerce, right? Or local meetups, or even by way of Facebook Live. So if you don't know exactly what you should be teaching on a local level, right, and providing information that might be of value and of service to local businesses and people that are considering getting into business, we're actually going to give you 3 presentations, including our Messenger Bot for Business presentation. So there's a bonus that we're going to give away to you that has literally put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into David and our pocket and my pocket as well. So we're not going to stop there. We're going to give one more bonus because we believe in this system so much. We've got a bonus number 3 that we're going to show to you right now. If I can get these slides to advance here. Just doing a little bit of delay here. So in bonus number 3, we're actually going to be doing we're giving you a recording of a chamber presentation that we did recently. It's a recording of a class that we delivered on Messenger Bots. In addition to Messenger Bots, we talked about some of the typical low-cost and free, platforms that, starting businesses that are kind of challenged with budgets and that sort of thing, really appeals to them, shows them how to get real results with platforms that they already know: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and some others out there that are just basically free tools, right? One thing is to actually use these platforms and go out there and semantically put images and stuff like that out there. But if you're looking for results, then perhaps there's a way and a system that you can go out there and do that. Now, we believe that this complements remote client system perfectly. And we want to be able to give you some real meat that you can start leveraging alongside of remote client system by way of combining both systems, right? So one is remote and one is live, and we think that they actually work both together. These complement the remote level simply because you have something to provide to them in addition to everything that is actually included in remote client systems. Now, the best way to do that is to pick up these bonuses and qualify for these bonuses. The total bonus value is probably somewhere in the ballpark of $700 to $800 in total bonus value. What you want to do is head over to deliciousmarketing.io/go/RCS. Now, RCS stands for Remote Client System. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to head over to this right now and go ahead and pick this up. What you're going to see on this is an absolute killer deal from the Offline Sharks and Tom Gaddis, Nick Ponte, and the other Tom, who's actually delivers a lot of this contest, not contest, but the actual system itself, the delivery of the course itself. So we're super excited to deliver this. We're proud and privileged to offer that bonus as part of this launch. We expect that you will find a lot of value there. Listen, if you want a little bit more of the breakdown, head over to that URL. It's going to redirect you right over to this promotion for remote client systems, and you're going to love what you see there. It's absolutely priced ridiculously, in my opinion. Again, it's probably worth 10 to 20 times that amount. Go and check this out. If you are challenged with connecting with local businesses and you need a different way to prospect and a different way to connect with local businesses and provide value to them in advance, my challenge and my request to you is to go and check this out. And even if you're just kind of curious about it, go over and check this out. If you have questions, come back in, connect with Tom and Nick or myself and David. We can kind of give you an idea of what our thoughts are beyond what we've talked about today. But we are just super privileged. This is really going to round out all of our services here. We're going to be using this for the foreseeable future to, in my opinion, dominate local, connect with local businesses, really provide a lot of value to them, and develop relationships with them the right way. And this is really why we wanted to bring Tom on here to talk about this stuff. Go ahead and check this out. It's an amazing deal.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me. I'm going to buy through your link, just so you know. I want the bonuses.
Awesome, Tom. Well, I appreciate it. We'll just hook you up. You don't need to buy it yourself, but we'll just hook you up. But guys, make sure you do this. We'll include these bonuses. We want to over deliver, and it's just more of a compliment because Tom, Nick, and Tom have over delivered with this. The price is absolutely incredible, and you'd be silly not to pick this up. Please go ahead and check this out for yourself and your business. If you're fearful of getting out there and connecting with local businesses in person, if you're afraid to knock on doors, this is probably going to help you, right? More so because you're going to be able to connect with people rapidly, and you're going to be able to deliver an amazing service and get them on your radar to build up your local marketing agency. Go ahead and do this. Pick it up at deliciousmarketing.io/go/RCS and get those bonuses. Really, really cool to add that to the repertoire. Tom, it's been a privilege. You're welcome back anytime. Inside our group, externally, we can't wait to make our way out to Maui, by the way, because it's coming up on the cold season right now here in Pennsylvania. And quite honestly, it's been too long since I've been to your great state.
Yeah, we'd love to have you here. We'd love to hang out with you guys. So thanks again for having me. A real pleasure. And mahalo and aloha, everybody.
Thanks, Tom.